r/AskReddit. What's the most useless invention that actually made somebody rich? Those power bracelets. I remember working at a sports store and they sold for $30 plus each. I still wear mine that I bought as a joke. You tell children what it is and they don't believe you. So you have them push you and you obviously don't move. Then take it off and throw yourself to the ground. They're either mystified by the thing or laugh because you're dumb. Either way brightens their day. Edit. I bought it from the clearance section of Walmart. It wasn't $30. More like $20. I don't think using it like this with children gives them a jaded everyone lies to me outlook on life. Thanks for all the kind words. Yup. They had a booth that was selling them at some expo a while back. I was bored and decided to see how they were pitching it. The salesman said he would push on my arm twice and promised I wouldn't fall if I wore the bracelet. I stood on one leg and held my arms out and he pushed down on one close to my wrist. I obviously lost my balance and stumbled. I put on the power bracelet and he did the same thing. But instead of pushing near my hand he pushed up by my elbow and not nearly as hard. Since the push was closer to my center of gravity I had an easier time catching my balance back. I called him out on it and asked him to push by my elbow without the bracelet. He said if I didn't believe in the power of the bracelet I should leave the booth. Unfortunately I saw the same pitch work on a few people there who bought one. My cousin worked for Zynga a while back. Apparently on a whim one day they decided to make a purple cow and sell it on Farmville for 99 cents just for the day. Within the first 45 minutes it had made over $1.5 million. WTF, I remember the purple cow. I wanted it so bad, but my mom didn't trust it, so she never agreed to let me buy it. But honestly, just go on any virtual pet site. People buy useless shit all the time for well more than 99 cents. People are so stupid, am I right? I definitely haven't spent an embarrassing amount of money playing dress up with my Path of Exile character. Who would even do that? I sure wouldn't. Shakuate. Aka the hand job simulator. Not to scale. The apps I'm rich and send me to heaven. As the story goes, a few people who bought the I'm Rich app requested a refund and the creator gave it to them without issue. He said he wanted people to be happy with their purchase. Can confirm. I accidentally bought this app a few years ago. I have no idea if this is actually true, but I used to hear an urban legend about a guy back in the days of print magazines who put in an ad that said simply your last chance to send me $1. The legend goes that he promised nothing in exchange. The ad just had that line and a PO box number. Apparently the guy had enough curious people say what the hell and send in the buck that he was able to make some very large amount of money. Probably bullish but intriguing idea nonetheless. My dad told me about this guy who would put an ad in the paper saying send me $2 and I'll tell you the secret to make millions. Once he got his $2, he'd send you a handwritten letter that said, put an ad in the paper saying, send me $2 and I'll tell you the secret to make millions. Clever guy. Don LaPree. Hundreds of tiny ads in newspapers all over the country. The juice squeezing machine with the pouches. Juicero? That's the one. Those huge fake eyelashes for your car that go over the headlights. Putting them on an unknowing friend's car/truck without them noticing would be a pretty good prank. Haha. Jerry. Your car now looks somewhat feminine. The eyelashes suggest a less masculine appearance. Jesus, Matt. I drive a dark blue Hummer. I also am completely comfortable in my sexuality. So the eyelashes are more a gift than anything. Heck. Sometimes my wife uses it as well. And she'd like them. You really need to stop with these pranks. They don't work. I also put truck nuts on your Hummer. Snuggie. It's just a backwards robe. It was actually designed for people in wheelchairs. A lot of us seen on TV products were developed with people with handicapped people in mind. Deleted. Selling stars in space and giving a certificate like you own that specific piece of the universe. I can relate. My fiance got me property on the moon. The Sea of Vapor is what it's called. Last name is Moon, so she thought it was fitting. Is your first name Sailor? Those decorative things you can put in the holes of Crocs. Gibbets. Is that what they are called? Because that's disgusting. That name. I really hope the inventor of Hulk hands is rich. He said useless invention. Those strips you put on your feet that supposedly removed harmful toxins from the body. Yeah, how else am I going to get rid of all these damn toxins? There's a great alien spa I'd recommend. The singing bass fish. Op said useless. Here's a little song I wrote. CTRL plus F truck nuts. 0 results. Honestly unexpected. CTRL plus F truck nuts. 1 result. You done ducked it up. Now there's 2 results as of posting this comment. I done ducked it up even more. Fidget spinners. If I remember correctly, the original inventor got nothing out of all this. Assuming the article I read was correct. Accurate. Insofar as the original patent expired. So plastics companies could start selling them cheaply without license, and they all did. The fidget spinner became popular because the inventor got nothing out of it. The cornballer. Thought these things were only legal in Mexico. TSSST mother of God. Oh. Every damn time. The Segway. It was extremely overhyped to be this revolutionary thing that will reinvent human transportation. But it ended up just being another toy for rich people. The hype was incredible. People had no idea what this mysterious new mode of transport was. They only knew that it would change the world. It was hyped up so much that some people even thought it was a flying car or even a teleporter or light drive. No. When it was finally revealed, they saw an electric scooter. I lived through that hype. It was advertised everywhere, and I guess when it came out it just seemed to disappear. The goddamn DVD rewinder. You'll wear out your DVD player quicker if you're always using it to rewind the DVDs. Better to have a cheaper dedicated device. I use mine so I can start watching another movie while the first DVD rewinds. Pop-up ads. The creator actually regrets making them. If he didn't, someone else would have. Need. Everybody needs a need. A need is a thing that everyone needs. You could argue that it is useful, but I know a relative of the person who invented the pasta window. Like the little plastic window that lets you look into a box of pasta so you can see what delightful shapes await you. I don't think it's very useful. And I still have a bitter aftertaste in my mouth after finding out how well off the family is from a ducking pasta peekaboo. I hope they patented it as pasta peekaboo. Blue jeans with holes. The holes actively make the jeans worse at what jeans are meant to be, which is a durable pant. That said, I do understand the fashion applications. But from an objective standpoint, the holes are worse than useless. They are not useless because looking appealing is a use that is intended. They aren't sold as work jeans. Scientology. Yep. Ron Hubbard's grandson, who wants to expose the scam for what it is, even explicitly states that his grandfather developed Scientology specifically to make money. Because if you can get people to pay based solely on beliefs that you construct, you can write your own paycheck. Scientology is only unique because we can see its beginnings. But Mormonism, even if it wasn't started as a money scam, has similar attributes. It's just as much of a scam. The further you go back in any organized religion, the case is similar. If they shape beliefs in a way that ignores facts and they continue to make enormous amounts of money, think the Catholic Church, then they are a money-making scam. Beanie Babies. The creator is a ducking billionaire. So am I. Anytime now the collection will be worth something. Suck it. That military contract helped him out. Cigarettes. The tobacco market is worth billions and billions. Even now. Go to the Glasgow necropolis and you can see the ornate mausolea and tombs for the old school tobacco barons. Let's dry out a plant. Soak it in toxic chemicals. Shred it and put it inside a paper tube. Set it on fire to release yet more toxic compounds in thick smoke. We deliberately inhale these fumes to ease withdrawal and feel normal for a short while. Thanks to the natural pesticide in the plant, which gives us a short buzz until your tolerance builds up and you feel nothing. Then you do it again. And again. And again. And then you develop some hideous medical condition and die. Judging by your username, I take it your family has also made quite a fortune from such things. The guy who invented the baby carrot cutter is filthy rich. The farmer who first made baby carrots was tired of having to throw away so many carrots due to deformities. So, he put them in a green bean cutter to cut them in half, then put them in a potato peeler. Since then, carrot consumption per year has almost doubled. I wouldn't say it's useless, because all those deformed carrots were going to be thrown away when they were actually still good for consumption. It's rather ingenious. Well, I'm sure they were being used as feed or fertilizer. It's a jump to conclusions, Matt. That is the worst idea I've ever heard. Yes. Yes. It's horrible. This idea. Bit of a throwback. But the Slinky. The inventor was in aerospace. Was playing with spring steel. Dropped a coil of it and sold it as a children's toy. The Slinky provides entertainment. It's hardly useless. Can also be used as a pen holder. Nail bleaching. There is actually a human being walking this earth who decided that our assholes needed to be a lighter color. Our anuses are just too damn dark. And that person is super rich now. It's not useless for the porn industry, at least. The OptiGrab. The inventor wasn't very bright, but came up with a phenomenal idea until he was sued into oblivion because of the side effects. You gonna make me Google it? Goddamn man. You were supposed to post a summary. There was that one guy, I believe he was Japanese or descent, living in US in the 80s, who invented this gooey, sticky stuff. He got them made into shape, little men or something, and marketed it to kids. You could throw it on the wall and it would stick. But then you could take it off and reuse it over and over again. They said it coated something like 10 cents to make, and he sold them for a couple of bucks and made $1 million in a year or something. I like how uncertain you sound, but yet it didn't stop you from posting. Well, I read a lot, and I love useless information and stats. I know I read about it. Just wasn't sure of the particulars. I don't know. I guess I just want to belong. Tsu/. Wacky. Waving. Inflatable. Arm flailing tube men. I'll learn all sorts of new dance moves from those guys. Not useless. The tension sheet. Vicky Holden became a billionaire. In more than one timeline. For painting bubble wrap red and writing tension sheet on it. I'm not that useless. 4 years. Nice. Amway. Daily Mail. You mean writing only about Kylie Jenner's latest Snapchat story and outfit isn't journalism? Gasp. Poop straws. Wait, what? Poop straws. Indulgences. Back in the day, the church would take money from people to secure a place for them in heaven, or to allow their ancestors to ascend to heaven from purgatory. God isn't real, we made him up for money. People who don't know what useless means. If it's a toy, it distracts children, incredibly useful. If it makes you feel good, it distracts adults, just as useful. Those annoying My Family stickers that people put in the rear windows of their cars. Thankfully a fad that died out. But you still see the odd one occasionally. Seriously. Who gives a hit that you have 2 kids and a dog? Not completely useless. But pool noodles. Selling between 6-8 million units annually. They're great to bust your little sister in the face with when you're 10. If you use them like a spear instead of a bat, you can break a nose. I know this from experience. Lots of folks don't understand what the word invention means. Those little castles you put in fish in tanks. Actually, they are not useless. Fish need stimulation, too. It's not just dogs and cats and other pets that need entertainment to stay alive. Things like the castles and stuff give them places to hide and explore and such. Keeps them alive longer. Salt life decals. Pet are goddamn. Homeopathy. Literally placebus. The exercise step is pretty ducking useless in the sense that it can be replaced by quite a few other things you probably already have access to, like a step. Not useless at all. It's a good bit shorter than an actual step. I'm going through intensive physical therapy right now and still can't lift my legs high enough to step up a real step. But practicing on an exercise step helps build those muscles up so that hopefully I can do stairs in the future. Jolestein's Church. Bottled water. Bottled water is mandatory where I live. The city water causes cancer and a host of other issues. Gwyneth Paltrow's jade eggs and goop stuff. In the 80s or 90s there was this woman that invented this thing that chicks could turn their ponytail inside out. Kitten mittens. You take that back. Big mouth Billy Bass. One day someone said, "I'm going to put a singing fish on a plaque," and ended up making millions.